Greetings, my name is Nina. Welcome back to the Metal Book Tavern. So today is 13th of November 2023, and today I'm going to discuss a very touchy subject for me. Yeah, it's still kinda uneasy for me to talk about, even to think about, but I still felt that this was the video that needed to be made. Well, one of the reasons behind this is because I wanted to share my experience of publishing a novel. Okay, I'm not going to go through how much the pre-publishing period was stressful for me. I was nervous and so on. I'm going to leave that behind the scenes. Maybe I will talk about it in a separate video. In this video, I really want to talk about the publishing mistakes I made. So here's my published book. This is called Nightingale Divine. There's something about the title of the novel and I'm going to discuss it a little bit later. This is how it looks. This book is around 250 pages long. So this is a fantasy novel. Okay, in this video I'm not going to talk about what the book is about, the setting and writing and blah 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 blah. That's a topic for another video. Let's go straight to my publishing mistakes. So mistake number 1. Going to a private and a less known publishing house. So in case you don't know, I live in Georgia. It's a country on the east of Black Sea. We have this very big publishing house called Palitra. This is the publishing house that translated a lot of famous fantasy novels, among them being Brandon Sanderson's Mistborn. And because this house translated fantasy a lot, I really intended to go to that publishing house, whatever it may cost me. And I went there in August 2021. Oh no, I think it was June. Yeah, June 2021, and got rejected. For months, my novel was simply a Word document until early 2022 when I found out about this publishing house called Iverioni. To be honest, I've never heard of Iverioni until I went to that publishing house. And if you decided to go publish your novel via a traditional publishing house, then at least select a publishing house with a built reputation. I think that if I still went again to Palitra, Palitra has published books in English by Georgian authors. I think I would have, chances are that my novel would have been more popular by this time, I think. But no, I ended up in a publishing house that mostly published the books that I would never read. Okay, this publishing house was mostly consisting of people who didn't like fantasy. Definitely my novel did not belong there, but it ended up there and I don't like it. Okay, nothing against the publishing house on its own, but it wasn't a publishing house for this book. This book deserved better. Okay, I know you might think that I'm saying this because I'm the author, but I did really put a lot into this book, and so here's my advice. If you go to a traditional publishing house, don't go to obscure publishing houses that you've never heard, that you own no books by, and whose books that you wouldn't read. Don't go to such publishing house. My second mistake is that I haven't built a name for myself. Okay, this is a bit a tricky subject because all beginner authors are yet to build a name for themselves. Yes, totally, but in this day, in the world of social media, I think that I should have hyped up the audience prior to publishing this book. Oh, in case you didn't know, this book is also on Amazon in ebook format. I published this book in early 2022, and now when I think about it, one of the reasons it's still unknown to most people is that I should have done more to promote it, but I didn't know, and to be honest, I still don't know how to do promotion. Sure, I use social media. Yes, I talk about this book in my videos, and even I made a TikTok once. Sure, I use all the tools that I have, but I still believe that there should be more. Now I think that my audience on YouTube is a little bit bigger than it was in early 2022. Things were awful in early 2022. Oh, granted, at the time, my Russian channel, Another Reader, was still in English, and this channel had a different name, and I used it for mostly for watching and commenting on fun stuff. But then I decided to change things, and I transformed Another Reader to be a Russian channel, and this fun stuff channel I made the Metal Book Tavern. I checked my statistics, and now I have more subscribers, and my viewership is bigger, and blah 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 blah. I do everything to go up, and I think that also this reputation, the name for myself, matters to promote the book. Okay, I still suck at promoting a book, but I believe that things are easier when you have a YouTube channel, well, even 2 YouTube channels, and some kind of social media presence, a social media platform. Yes, I recognize the fact that my platform is very small, but I still have it, and I do everything to make it bigger. If you are to publish a novel, make sure that you do have a little bit of following. Yes, even a little bit. My third mistake is not making a proper book cover. Now, look at this. I really don't like this cover at all. I absolutely dislike it. I hate the fact that I made a huge mistake when I made the title of the book unpronounceable. While the color and the tone of the cover looks nice, I still hate that this doesn't look like your good fantasy novel. It doesn't have that cover. So I asked on Amazon how to pronounce a book, and someone on the Amazon made book cover for me, and I used it for the novel. Sure, that book cover on Amazon isn't perfect, but I'd still rather choose that one over this one. Well, at least on that one you can read the title and it looks very nice. Yeah, just look at the cover it is on the screen. Yeah, it definitely looks better than this one. But the deal is that when I went to the publishing house, they included making a cover. This was a major mistake. Never do that. My fourth mistake is rushing to release the book. Even though I finished the book in May 2021 and I spent an entire month editing it, and I even made extra additions to the book, I still feel like the book is very raw material. I still believe that I could have made a more saturated version of this book, and this is why I want to make a second edition in the future with a better cover, with a more saturated text, and a better title. I made the final update in December 2021. Went to the publishing house in January 2022, and the book was published in February 2022, and a month later it was in the shops. But there was also one problem related to the first problem. The deal is that here in Georgia we have Biblos bookshops, and as it turned out that Iverioni was a private publishing company, and Biblos did not accept that. Therefore, my books slowly disappeared from the bookshelves, and this is what I didn't like. And this caused a lot of misery to me. I lied in bed and I was ready to cry. Yes, I'm finally confessing this. No, I did not scream or anything. Screams were happening from inside. It was awful. I hated it. I felt absolutely worthless. And now the best I can do is share my experience and to feel better about myself. I hated how my dream of being a writer turned out. It's even worse than not having your dream fulfilled. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. I hated this. But I don't lose hope, because I do still believe that the battle for this book isn't over and there's still much to do. Now to the fifth publishing mistake I made, although it's more a writing mistake rather than publishing, but still I did not select the right title for this book. I don't really like Nightingale Divine. I don't like how it sounds. I definitely intend to change the title of the book once I start making the second edition. Yeah, I definitely want to make a second edition. I want to update the book. One positive example of changing the book is Stephen King updating The Gunslinger, the first book of the Dark Tower series. I encountered the Dark Tower after Stephen King made some updates to his books. But still, he did. He wanted the book to be better. And even J.R.R. Tolkien admitted that he could have made The Lord of the Rings and his books in general better. Yeah, I do think that there's this inner critic in our minds that wants our books to be better. And it kind of hurts me that nobody in the publishing house knew English. So the book wasn't reviewed. There are basically no reviews on this book, at least from the Georgian audience. Don't get published in English in Georgia. Okay, that's not entirely true. Whenever I entered bookshops, I saw some Georgian writers getting published in English. It's a thing, and this is what made me confident in my writings. It's not the fact that I publish my books in English. The problem is that I went to the wrong publishing house and I didn't promote it, and all the other mistakes that I mentioned in this video. And there's also Amazon, but that's another talk. Sure, unfortunately on Amazon the book didn't get noticed that much. Yes, this video is quite short, and this is quite a long story of how I got this book published, how disappointed I was with the whole thing, how I believe that the thing can be better. I remember in August 2022 I could lie in bed and I was really upset. Really upset because of how the things turned out. The thing that makes me going is that I have my 2 YouTube channels. I still intend to update the book, and I also intend to one day to write another one, and I still believe that these things should be talked about and to make it public so people would feel less alone in this. Also, when you publish a book, make sure all your declarations are filled correctly. Also, a few words about publishing a book on Amazon. I really don't know how it's in other countries, but in Georgia, in order to get paid, I use Payoneer. It was a very hard job connecting Amazon to Payoneer, but I did. I really intend to change the title of the book. I want to make a second edition of this book with a different title, different cover, and a more saturated content. I still saved 1 copy of this book. I would save this as a reminder of how to not publish books, because my writing way isn't over. I have only begun things. I believe that I have everything ahead. I don't lose hope, and I do need a band to make songs of this, because this book is full of music. In general, my books are kinda full of music because I myself am a music addict. Finally, I've said it. Alright, that's all. This was kinda hard for me to make, but now it hurts less than it did before. I still do believe that things are going to be better for me. I do believe that eventually I'm going to make this novel known to the world, when it's going to be saturated and with a different title and blah blah blah. And of course there are going to be more books to come from me. Also, one fact, I wrote this book before I started making YouTube videos. I genuinely need a career as a writer and a YouTuber. This is my dream. Let's make it happen. That's all. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my suffering. Okay, I don't suffer as much anymore. Are you a writer? Have you published a book? What are your advices and mistakes, and what to do and what to not? Let me know down in the comments. See you next time. Goodbye.